everyone. Thank you for joining in on the Pastor's Chat. We're just thankful for all our listeners that continue to tune in on our YouTube channel and those that find us on Facebook as well. As you can see, I have some guest celebrities, as they want to be referred to here. So to my far left, we San Janney.
Hey guys, how you doing today?
Grace Glick.
Autographs are $10.
And Nick Lowe.
Hello.
Still love that. Hello. Yeah, very good. We are going to talk today about Trunk or Treat, and then we'll wrap it up by this coming Sunday with our sermon. But this past Friday, we had a wonderful event here for Calvary for our community called Trunk or Treat. And we are really excited about the way the Lord used our church in this amazing event. So I wanted to give this over to Grace about how did it originate, but additionally, what was its purpose?
Well, I was thinking about all the things that we didn't get to do. I didn't get to have a graduation. People missed birthdays. Other graduations were missed. Weddings had to be canceled. And this kind of was the first big community holiday coming up since everything's been happening. And I was like, I don't want the kids to be sad. And I was like, I remembered my older brother had done a trunk or treat, and it seemed like a pretty good way to get people to be able to celebrate and still be safe. So I was like, hey, young adults, do you guys want to do a trunk or treat? And they said, yeah, and we just ran with the idea.
Yeah, it really ran with the idea, and it was amazing. I mean, we'll talk about this, what it turned out to be. And so, I mean, in general, what would we say the purpose was?
I think the purpose was to show the community that we're here and that we're listening and that we feel a lot of the same feelings that they're feeling right now.
And it was just another wonderful way that we just loved on our community and our family. So, and that goes into that we saw that they felt loved because in my mind, it was definitely a success. But I want to talk about what made this event a success. What would you guys say made this event become a success?
I think it was all the help that we got from the church. We wouldn't have been able to pull it off to the caliber that we did if we didn't have people volunteering, if we didn't have people donating their things and letting us borrow their different string lights. And also donating candy was a big thing. Thank you for that.
Yeah, definitely. There were so many elderly donating candy, so many people across our whole church. There's so many generations involved, Nick.
Yeah, and there was a lot of people behind the scenes working too, helping us make the signs, people volunteering for us to put the signs in the yard, get the word out, by word of mouth and by social media. To make sure that people knew that this was happening.
My favorite one came from Grace, where Grace told me she grabbed one of the signs and threw it in one of the Burning Mans from our church, her yard, knowing that Bernie would definitely want one. So yeah, the signs. Also, we got to connect with the borough too.
Yeah, so we talked a lot with the borough to make sure that they were doing it. We could find out when they were doing it, and make sure the borough. We actually asked the borough to advertise for us, and they put on their Facebook page saying Calvary BFC was going to have a trunk or treat. Come and check it out, which the community heard, and they came and they loved what we did and everything that was going on with this.
Yeah, and Sam was the construction worker, as I called him, that was at the front of this thing near Fairmont Street by our Fairmont building. But I think you had said to me that a lot of people said that they had heard about it through Facebook and stuff like that. So
a lot of people did hear about it through Facebook, but another big thing we had is we had signs posted around Coopersburg and lighted ones on Fairmont and everything, so people could then see it and be like, oh, what's going on there? Also, we had community members who'd they'd hand their candy out at trunk or treat and be like, hey, if you go over to Calvary BFC and tell them where we are, we have more people over there. You can get more candy and get loved on by everyone.
Candy speaks.
Oh, candy speaks volumes. Oh, those kids loved it.
Yes, they did. And also, Lori, one of the members at our church, her van was lit up. It was blinking and lights going on. It really, the excitement that was going on at Fairmont Street started it, and then they would head down that wonderful lighted path into the parking lot where the tons of vehicles were. I also want to say that a quick shout out to Award Services, just because we found out leading up to the event that the path over to our main building was actually a mess and was so bad that someone could have rolled their ankle, and so we called one of our local businesses who right away jumped on it for us and took care of it within a week. And also worked. I need to thank the borough too for the borough donating stuff for our church to take care of that path. So a lot of the Lord was working behind. I mean, we talked about people working behind the scenes. The Lord was involved with this absolutely. Cool. The last thing, another question is, can each of you tell us what was most exciting to you about Trunk or Treat?
I think the most exciting part for me was just the turnout. We had over 200 kids come, 400 counting parents. Just that we were able to get the word out so quickly and that so many people came. This being probably one of the first community events that has happened since the COVID outbreak.
Yeah. Wow.
One of my favorite things was just getting to watch the little kids skip down the path that was lit, and they were so excited and they were so happy, and I was just really glad that we could give them this opportunity to let them be happy again.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think one of my favorite things was just how excited the community members were to come here. Like, how often do you hear a community be so excited to go to church? I mean, it never happens, but we were able to get 400 people to be happy, excited, and come to church. And then find out we're here, we love you guys, we want you guys to come back.
Yeah,
so
they were on our property, and that's a major win. We talk about the gospel and sharing the gospel. Obviously there is evangelism where we directly tell someone the gospel, but one of those steps in that is just making it easier for people to be able to come and receive and hear it. So even if it is just one family, or even if it's just that the community saw that this is a loving church and it's not a threat, they may come and be in our building and then hear the gospel through the church. It was awesome. So the other thing for me, I think what I was blown away by was walking around and seeing so many of our members that decorated their vehicles, were dressed up so amazingly. I mean, I saw everything from, the Yellow Brick Road, to people dressed as farmers, to a whole campground. It was pretty awesome. So this is my last question with Trunk or Treat. What did you see and hear from those that came to Trunk or Treat?
Well, apparently people had thought we had done this before. They were like, oh, we love coming to trick or treat at Calvary. And we were kind of like, we haven't done this before. And I was just like kind of excited that they had the feeling that this has happened before, so that they're more excited to come back.
I think it also speaks to that as a church, we did it really well. We poured in so much effort into it that people thought like, wow, like, I love this event. It was done well. Yeah.
Another great thing was people were they were so excited about being here and having this event. They were like, oh, well, what are you guys gonna do for Christmas now? How are you guys gonna up this for next year? And we're like, well, don't know how we're gonna do that, but okay, thanks.
We need a lot of candy.
It's almost like, well, you want to come here and organize this for us then and take care of it?
Yeah. Nick, what were you seeing and hearing?
Yeah, there just a lot of positive from the people leaving. They were really excited about some of the trunks and the work that we put into the creations that were there. They were very impressed and excited about what we did.
Yeah, and the kids definitely were. They were smiling, they were laughing, they were excited, skipping down. There was so much energy around Trunk or Treat. And that's what I just found myself kind of almost spinning in circles, just trying to take in everything as I went through with my family. And I also need to thank the young adults, and this is a few of them, but there were many involved that I couldn't be much of a help, but I was blown away by how well our young adults, along with Calvary Church, just made this thing an incredible success to show love to our community and care for the young families and their children in the area. So thank you to the Young Adults Ministry and our whole church just for being involved in this in a way that was done so well, so that those that do not know us now see that we're a loving church inside the Coopersburg community. Well, thank you for being on the chat with me today. As we close, I just want to remind everyone that this coming Sunday, we continue our Daniel series called Uncommon. We're going to be in Daniel chapter 8 with Pastor Bogert. And we just want to encourage you, as you just prepare to come to church each week, be in God's Word, take some time to read the passage, to engage with it beforehand. And we're always praying that the Lord would continue to work as we hear the preaching of the Word, as the Spirit works to sanctify us into the likeness of Jesus Christ. So thanks again. See you later, everyone.
Come on Sunday.
Bye. That was good, guys.
I was like, when you couldn't say Coopersburg at the end, I was like, we're going to have to do this all over.
Yeah, I was about to say Coopersburg, Tim. Don't even live here.